man, this is really living.
Welcome to Prohibition Style Reviews. Today we're actually going to do a little bit of a tutorial for those of you that are not sure what brush to use and things like that. You're starting out, you're wanting to get a inexpensive option. So there's a number of options out there: synthetic, horse, badger, and boar. And specifically boar I'm going to talk about today because boar gets overlooked. A lot of people buy a boar brush, but they don't take the time to break it in, so you're not really getting the full benefit of a boar brush. So I'm going to give you some pointers on how to easily break in a boar brush so it becomes more of a joy to use. So when you properly break in a boar brush, it gets that bristly feeling out of the brush. It'll actually split the hairs to a certain degree, making them softer, so your tips are softer. But the nice thing and the best thing about a boar brush is their ability to hold water and their backbone. So if you're dealing with a harder soap or anything like that, it's hard enough so it'll actually break the surface of the soap and get in there and get all the morsels of soap. Whereas something softer like a badger, you're going to get a really dissipaty, crummy lather from harder soaps because it's not getting that loosened up soap. It's kind of scraping the surface and it's bubbly and it's no good. So I'm going to tell you exactly how, right out of the box, to get your Smoke or your Omega shave ready within 2 to 3 days. So I prepared this the night before, so I have 2 boar brushes at varying levels of broken-inness. There's a word for you. So I've stuck them in just a shave mug, cold water you start off with, and you'll pour it up. It's really hard to see. You pour it to right about here on the brush. You don't want to pour it to the knot because it will start eating away at some of the glue. You'll start losing hairs. You want it 3/4 of the way up the bristles. So you let it soak in that for 24 hours. I got 2 of them here. So 2 of them have been soaking overnight. So what I'm going to do is you're going to take it, shake out all the excess water. So you can see this one's less broken in than the other. You're going to see something like this when you first start. Actually, when you first start a boar brush, it's going to be probably a tight knot, something like that when you get it wet. This one's kind of splayed out because I've done this a little bit. So what you do is you take this 24 hours in cold water, grab yourself a towel, and you take the brush to the towel. The other thing too is boar, when you first get it, has a scent to it. So this will get rid of that. If you add any kind of colognes, liquid soap, anything like that to your water, it's going to take away some of that scent. You just rub it straight into the towel. What you want to do is get it completely dry. So it's probably going to take a good 5 or 6 minutes of rubbing on a towel in order to get it fairly dry. I'm not going to go crazy this episode. It's not going to be very exciting watching me do this for 5 or 6 minutes. But because these are somewhat broken in already, I'll kind of give you the gist of what you can expect your brush tips to look like after you do this. So this one I've done it probably, let me think, I've used it for quite a while, but I've done this technique on it maybe 2 or 3 days. So this would be the 3rd or the 4th day. So you can see that splay. So it's got good splay. The tips are a lot softer than you'd normally see in a boar brush. You'll see them start to split and things like that. But this on your face, as opposed to that scritchy, scratchy when it's right out of the box, does an amazing job. So it's soft on your face like a badger, not silver tip badger, but a 2-band badger. And it's got enough backbone to really, that's the best thing about these boars, is they have that backbone to get into the puck and really shred it, and they can handle abuse. I love boar brushes. I use them all the time. I use every kind of brush on the planet. I've got horsehair, black badger, I've got 2-band badger, I've got silver tip badger, there's a lot of brushes here. I got everything you can think of, including synthetics and everything like that. But I always come back, if I have a tough to lather soap or anything like that, I usually go at it with my boar hairs because I can usually figure out the nuances of soap pretty good with a boar hair. So this one, 2 or 3 days of use, or 2 or 3 days of doing this. And this next one is one I've been using it for, let me think, a few months now. It's obviously not an everyday user, but this one I'm going to run it on the towel here so you can see the difference in the display. They might be fairly similar, I'm not sure, but I do use this one a little more than the other one. Nice thing too is this gets rid of those loose hairs, so when you actually do go to do your shave, you're not going to be picking hairs out of your soap, because when you first get a badger, a boar, any kind of animal hair, there's a certain amount of hairs that come off until you really get them broken in, and then they kind of slow down. You'll lose a hair every third or fourth shave with a good knot, if that. Sometimes even you won't. So all right, so there you go. So you can see the display on that one compared to the display on this one. A lot wider display. The tips are a lot softer. If you want a great brush, really simple handle, really easy to use, the Beechwood, you can get this on their website, prohibitionstyle.com. Awesome brush. I love this brush. I always use it. So that's pretty much it. So you do that 24-hour soak in cold water, rub it on a towel for 5 to 10 minutes, pour out the water, really cold water again, back in for 24 hours, and repeat that one, maybe 2 times. I've seen people go all the way to 48 hours if you want to do 48 hours. It all depends on how it feels after. When you rub it on the brush or on the towel after, check it. If it feels good to go. And you can do a natural break-in as you use it. It'll get softer and softer over time. And if it's not soft enough for you, just repeat that process and it'll only get better. So thank you guys very much for watching. Check out our website for all kinds of awesome shave products. Of course, our own shave products too, Prohibition Style. Look forward to seeing you in the next video, and thanks a lot.
We're committed to the all or nothing. Stop us.